Greetings, fellow Gothamites! Tiki here,
And BlueDragonFive.
and we're back to recap the latest episode of part of the retelling of the Dark Knight mythology. And tonight's episode is called Strike Force! Where is the Strike Force? So join us as we venture into Batman's birthplace.
And explore Gotham.
What do you think of my Christian Bale?
That's your Christian Bale?
Yes, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do Christian Bale Batman.
That was just awful, Tiki.
Just awful. Okay,
was-
off to a good start. Where is he? Where is the Joker?
That was barely that old Christian Bale to be.
Okay.
Wow,
Well,
I mean, that was...
Speaking of things that are terrible, I did not particularly care for this episode. I wouldn't call it terrible, per se. There were certainly good, enjoyable moments in it. I thought this episode kind of was a stumbling block back to the season 1 days.
Yeah, I would say it's a hair above the season 1 episode, just by a hair, though.
Frankly, BlueDragonFive, I feel like all our fears about Jerome and this show kind of like, kind of blowing its load, I feel like those are completely justified here. Now I'm getting worried.
I'd say a certain amount of our fears, yes, but I don't think the whole thing's gone yet.
Yeah, Galavan is fine. Tabitha is the new Barbara. My God.
I'm in agreement. We'll get into it.
And I don't even know what the new Barbara is.
Yeah, that's I'm saying there are some fears that are just his fire is fed more on those fears this episode, but I don't think the whole thing's completely gone quite yet. I think there's still some hope.
Exactly.
But we'll get into it.
No, I definitely don't think the whole thing's just a lost cause now. No, absolutely not. But,
again, it's just this is back to kind of our format with the first season, but I think there's still some good stuff we get in this episode. It's still a cut above the first season episodes, but it's in the range of those episodes though.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we got some good episodes in season 1, so by no means is it.
Oh, we absolutely got some great episodes in season 1. Of
course. Welcome back, Jim.
I feel like season 1 kind of in general got trashed pretty harshly when it really.
Yeah.
It was more so just certain elements in certain episodes that should have been trashed more so than the overall show.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's start the episode.
Okay, so there's a big argument going on at the Penguin table.
The Penguin's having a meeting, and instead of a gavel, he has
a shotgun,
which he uses to achieve a little civility.
Yeah.
So basically,
let's discuss this issue with a little civility. Everyone thinks that the guy that broke out the Arkham inmates was a blind man. A blind man!
So first of all, right off the bat, let's just address this now. Robin Lord Taylor, he has a really great Penguin performance this episode. I think we can give him that.
Oh, he's always spot on.
I mean, he gets some interesting stuff.
I'm like, oh man, Robin Lord Taylor really needs to work on his Penguin. He's not doing it for me this episode.
Yeah, but I think
he's consistently the most consistent part of the show.
He is, but here he gets to kind of play some different things this season. And he's starting to get kind of stretch some interesting directions with the Penguin this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, what I like in this scene that kind of builds to it, we're getting some classic Penguin, just kind of a Penguin who's striving for legitimacy and striving for civility, which is something he would do. And of course, through really ironic means, like he's shooting a shotgun saying, hey, let's be civil here. That's a Penguin. Instead of an umbrella, it's actually a shotgun. This is exactly what Penguin would do. He goes about this meeting exactly how the Penguin would years later, which I really liked. So basically, here's what's going on. So Penguin, again, continuing our plot, and this is it's not exactly how I want it to go, but there's still room for it. I like there is aftermath to Jerome stuff. I love that. I was still hoping there'd be like stuff like you go around, he's on the news still and all that stuff, which we might still get.
I think if we did that right after this episode, it might be a little bit of overkill. I think it'd be cooler if like episode 6 we saw like just like newspaper clippings of Jerome just kind of lying around or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all entirely possible. So I'm just saying I still hope
because they had a big hit on their hands with Jerome, and The Last Laugh was most definitely the most critically acclaimed episode of the whole series.
Let's just say, from what I've heard from the producers lately, I don't know how this is going to fit in, so let's not judge it instantly. But they say we might not have seen the last of Jerome, which makes me think they might have some.
Oh dear.
No,
Lazarus Pit?
No Lazarus Pit. Don't worry. But what I am hoping is perhaps Yeah, perhaps more like news-related stuff. Maybe that's what they mean, or like
Okay,
like
okay.
that. Or perhaps maybe Jerome had some like tapes saved away to the side to play. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Kind of like how I'm always suggesting that Stan Lee just film a bunch of, just go into work one day and he's like, all right, gentlemen, from sunset to sunrise, nothing but recording cameos.
Or if you know if they're
after cameo after cameo.
Or if they're clever enough, there could always be a use of fear gas this season that would bring Jerome back, or a nightmare.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see that at some point.
At the very least, a nightmare sequence could bring Jerome back a few times.
Right.
Imagine if a young Bruce Wayne is having nightmares about Jerome like that, like the blind man predicted.
So Penguin's crew all thought that he was the one who broke everyone out of Arkham, and Penguin's just like, why would I do that? Things are going perfectly right now. And then that ginger maniac spoiled everything.
Again, so at least they're keeping Jerome around and like the ramifications of his actions, which is great. And a Penguin of all people bring this up because in the comics all the time, Penguin would always have gripes about the Joker.
Of course.
So basically, he's looking into who's behind the Arkham breakout. They think it's him, and he points out the folly. And Penguin's reminding them, importantly, he's saying, look, and this is giving some context on how Penguin's kind of power grab has gone since the first season. That he's reminding them, and there's a bunch of young criminals at the table. He gave them the new generation. He gave the new generation a shot in Gotham. The young people are kind of striving now. Then
oddly enough, that's going to be a parallel with Gordon as well, a big parallel.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it also says, like, look, this ginger mania comes around. The public's terrified. Business is in the can. The city belongs to us. The kids. And we need unity in this organization. We're going to do it smarter than the mob did. Essentially, that's what he's saying. He says, no more chaos, no more gang wars, no more blood in the streets of decent folk. Which is interesting. Penguin's still caring about some legitimacy there. He's striving for.
So there will be a war of blood. Rivers of blood in the streets. I can see it.
No, you see what I'm saying, though. This blood.
Yeah.
This is a Penguin who does strive for legitimacy, and he does, to some extent, want to be an upstanding citizen. He wants to help people in a way. Of course, in his own way of making deals with people, but he still wants to help in a demented way.
Okay, so then in walks Tabitha.
You pull a crime. I'm sorry. Tabitha walks in.
Yeah, and oh god, I mean, she doesn't do anything offensive in particular, but
following it, she does. But
oh god.
Basically, she says, "It's not." Now you got me thinking. Okay, so Penguin says, you pull a crime, I need to know about, which again, is kind of a classic mob thing. And Penguin just trying to have control. So he's kind of the lead of all these other subdivisions of crime in his criminal organization. Sure. Like all the mobs report to him. They're all under his umbrella, so to speak.
He's essentially the Wilson Fisk of this series at this point.
It would seem. I just wish we had more interesting mobsters following him, but
You embarrassed me in front of her.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. So Tabitha walks in, congratulates the Penguins, says, I love the way you took control of the room there, and basically invites invitation to speak to her brother alone. And this is interesting. Now, here's an interesting element of the episode I want to see pay off.
Why are you looking at me like that? You don't know me.
So you'll notice this has been building for a few episodes now, Tiki. Now, Butch,
I'm mixed on this, BlueDragonFive. I'm very mixed on.
Let me speculate on. I think I'm going to sway on this. Let me speculate. Okay. So throughout the episodes, they've been cleverly seeding this in, I think.
Yeah.
Butch has been giving these funky head nods the whole way through. And you notice it, it's kind of strange. Gilzine hasn't really been much of a presence, just been kind of twitchy in the background next to Penguin. And, it seems, my guess, we get this a lot later on, is that I think, because the brainwashing was actual. Because the brainwashing was actual because, he was conflicted about killing Fish Mooney.
That's true.
So the brainwashing was real, which makes me believe that since that traumatic event of, killing against every fiber of his being, going the Fish Mooney, shooting Fish Mooney, he that snapped his reprogramming in some way that he's like still he's like short circuited in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that way, that's why he's like.
So he still follows the Penguin, but he's kind of questioning it at this point.
Yeah, which makes me
kind of seeing the glitch in the matrix, if you will.
Yeah, it's like there's a glitch in the program, which makes you think, if that continues, then perhaps Gilzine will snap out of it completely and then have his own grand designs down the line.
Right.
But right now, he's still on the Penguin side, still under that brainwashing. He's still a little more observant of it, saying, well, I know I can't go against what you're saying right now, but he's still kind of reaching the guy. He's talking to him like a person. So Butch's personality is still there, but he still has these his issues. Like she's looking at me, and I'm like, well, why is she looking at me like that? So
it's really interesting.
So it's the idea. Butch is still the lovable Gilzine we all know him for, but there's still some. He's fighting some programs just that's completely whacked off now.
Sure.
Of course, now all the hierarchy he's grown up with is now gone in Gotham. So he's got some issues. He's gone a little crazy since the ending of the pilot, which is interesting. So we'll see how that pays out. We'll get a little more into that a little later on. So GCPD is Gilzine says she doesn't know me.
You don't know me.
So Gilzine, I think, turns in a good performance this episode, though.
Oh, he does, absolutely.
So let's see. So the GCPD is a bustle, and this I thought was really funny. I love this. Gordon's having a conversation with this one corrupt detective, just saying like, your last arrest was your bookie, and he says, "Oh, you're high and mighty, Gordon." Like, the GCPD is a bustle again. They're low staffed. Everything's a little chaotic since the Jerome stuff. Anyway, so Captain Nathaniel Barnes enters with a flare.
Captain Jack Sparrow, if you please. I'm sorry.
So
that was a dated joke.
So Barnes enters the archway and just grabs a chair and makes an entrance. Slams it on the ground.
Yeah, he's lucky that he didn't throw a chair at one of the people's faces.
Oh yes, I'm Captain Nathaniel Barnes. That's right. I'm your new boss.
And of course, it's played by Vic Mackey himself, Mr. Michael Chiklis. Oh my God,
the ever-loving blue-eyed thing.
BlueDragonFive. I gotta say, I think this guy's a great addition to the show. Just right off the bat, I think he made a really good first impression.
He's a great addition. I have high hopes for him. This first scene is fantastic. There's another scene, and then I believe one of our next scenes coming up. He's really great in. However, I have a minor gripe with it, but we'll get into it.
Okay.
But I am liking his character. I love these first two scenes with him. So this So this scene's great.
And the points that we needed for the GCPD.
Yes, I mean he's a good. He's kind of I'll get into it in a second. So 10 hot. He's getting everyone in order in military terms. Gordon's familiar with this.
And of course, Gordon at this point is just like, oh, who is this guy? I'm intrigued.
And then this is interesting. And this shows you Barnes is going through the history of the building itself in the GCPD. So 100 years. This building was built 100 years ago. It housed.
Imagine how many perps have been locked up.
Yeah, and
he's stroll into our house. I wasn't even here, and I'm ashamed.
Now, what's interesting, he's echoing exactly Gordon's speech.
Sure,
the same exact speech. Are your brothers? Now your brothers and your commissioner were killed here. And anyone who's not ashamed
And then I love this sentimentality. Yeah, he says, "I hope you're all ashamed. Anyone who's not ashamed and angry should resign." I love that, man. That's just like such a way to put fire under their asses.
There are people lying to themselves here. Luckily, I have all your files. This is awesome. This instantly sold me on the guy. So basically, he reads the files. And
I noticed Coulson was one of the names.
Yes, Coulson was one of them. I knew you were going to pick up on that.
You knew I was going to pick up on that.
I knew you were. Anyway, so...
It's like Clark Gregg's just there in the background.
No, he's not. You can't fire Coulson. You know why you can't fire Coulson, don't you?
Why?
Because he's already dead.
Okay.
Anyway, so basically he's
I'm not even going to ask about how they explained it in frickin' Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and please don't tell me.
I've already told you before. You've forgotten. But
I know. Well, I know you've told me. I've forgotten the details.
Anyway, so...
Sue me, that was a long series of videos that we did. There was a lot of exposition to get through.
So Barnes is looking through the files, and he's basically calling names, and basically, if your name is called, stand here. And they all a slew of them line up there, at least 6 of them, I guess.
Robbery, drug abuse, extortion, racketeering. You're all fired.
Yep, you're all fired. Fires a slew of corrupt cops, and then anyone has a problem with it. There's one guy does. He walks up to him and says, "Well, you can't do this." He says, "Oh, you're right. Well, you have the right to remain silent." You basically arrest them right there on the spot.
Yeah, you're right. You do have rights. You have the right to remain silent.
Which is awesome. If you have an issue with it, you're getting arrested. Yes, you did. But
I wrote down on my notes, I think this guy is like the anti-Vic Mackey. Because Vic Mackey was like all about kind of, being a corrupt cop and sliding by the rules. And this guy is so anti that. It's great.
And then this is important. I think this is setting the stage up for this guy, which gives me some kind of not great like bad grudge or anything. Just like worries for the future of like for our lovely characters for poor.
Oh,
Gordon.
yeah, I certainly think that as awesome as this guy is for Gordon's cause, he's not awesome for Gordon on a personal level.
Yeah. Anyone who breaks the law, anyone who breaks the law goes to jail.
I will bust you.
Yep, I'm not.
Don't make me mad.
We're not taking.
Marvel might want to get me to play the Hulk. Oh, God.
I think you mean the Thing, don't you?
No, I mean the Hulk.
All right. Okay, so it says, no more.
I'm sorry.
No more taking a blind eye, and and you help a fellow officer. You don't make me mad. And don't make me mad. Anyways, dismiss. And what is everyone standing around for? Dismissing. I want to see you in my office, he tells Gordon. Then we get a scene between Jim and Barnes here. It's a really nice thing here. So
yeah, this is great.
In Essen's office, no less, too. This is a big passing of the torch moment. So let's see. So
what do you think about what I said, Gordon?
Gordon agrees with every word.
Every word of this.
Every word. Are you sick of it? No. And basically, essentially, he's very impressed with Gordon. This is this great moment we saw from the promo saying, "You're a troublemaker, aren't you? Aren't you?" And then Gordon,
yes,
yes, sir.
That's an accurate assessment.
Giving him respect too. He's like, "Yes, sir." That's an accurate assessment. Yes. And again, I love Gordon. You're just kind of like, it's just really having a chat with this.
Gordon is like a freaking kid on Christmas.
Yes, he's very impressed. I love just again Ben McKenzie. He's great with the subtlety of Gordon here. I'm very impressed by it. You don't really get a lot. Just the moment of like him saying.
You can tell Gordon's trying to keep his composure, but he's almost geeking out at how yes, this is the guy. Oh my God! Thank you for saying this for so long.
I went through a season full of corruption. Finally, just pretty much just the way he says, "Yes, sir." That's an accurate assessment.
Right.
So basically, then Barnes says the best thing you could say to Gordon again. The Christmas analogy works really.
Oh, God.
I'm going to bring law and order back to the city. We're going to bring law and order back to the city.
Oh yes.
Very nice, very nice. And then Gordon gives him some advice here, telling him, get in order, fixing the department is going to be tough because we are short-handed after all.
Yeah,
might be tougher than you think.
They could have thrown out 20 more guys and not hit the bottom.
Yeah, it's great. That's such a Gordon line.
This movie isn't the bottom of the barrel. This movie isn't even below the barrel. This movie doesn't deserve to be associated with barrels. All right, I'm sorry. That's my favorite Roger Ebert quote.
Anyway. But the serious thing says, well, it might be tougher. You think Gordon gives him some genuine advice. Hey, buddy, I have the same viewpoint as you, but seriously, this is going to be a tough thing to take on. Sure, you can handle this. Sure, jarhead, huh?
Yeah, I love how they're both Marines or both Army guys. So,
yeah.
So military, I should say.
No, Marine's accurate because it's still ambiguous and really. In the current comics, he's Marine. And I kind of like him as Marine, so it's fine.
So Harvey walks in. He's like, "Please tell me you told him that he made a huge mistake. Please."
And then, of course, Harvey is probably the best line of the episode. He says,
Gotham has twists and turns and
Gotham doesn't have straight lines. It has twists and turns and dead ends. That's such a cool line. I want to see that on a t-shirt. That's a great line.
Gotham has twists and turns and dead ends.
Gotham doesn't have straight lines. It has twists, turns, and dead ends. But, basically saying, well, look, he seems fine, but he's an idealist. You're... see how that worked out for you, and you're an idealist. It's not going to work. Gordon said, maybe it doesn't have to be that way anymore. And Gordon's hopeful.
Oh dear. So BlueDragonFive, you're ready to get through. I would argue one of the worst scenes in the entire series so far.
I'm trying to think what her other. I think Tab has some other unsavory bits in this episode. I'm trying to think if this is the worst.
She has had there's definitely one towards the end. I forget exactly what it is, but I know it's in my notes.
I remember. I think the one I'm really mad at is in this scene. So I think mine is here. I forget what the other one.
There's so much wrong with this scene.
Okay, well, there's some interesting stuff with it too. We'll get into it. So. Saying the second half of it gets a little bad. Okay, anyway, so
it's a shame that a scene with the Penguin can't even be redeemed.
Again, I think he saves it to a degree, but we'll see. Point is, so the scene
him being there definitely makes it less insufferable than it would be otherwise.
There are some references to stuff that might be paid off now. It made me really excited. We'll get into it.
Okay.
But seriously though, so we started the scene off with like there's on the news it's saying there's no mayor in Gotham because the last one the deputy mayor was killed and the first one still is gone. I love this because it's kind of a reference to Dark Knight Returns subtly, because in Dark Knight Returns the mayor gets killed by the mutant leader in the Dark Knight.
Oh, nice.
And that's kind of thing that would happen. There's like, well, the mayor is dead. It's like such a depressing thing. And actually, on Arrow right now, the mayors keep dying, and they keep pointing it out.
Yes.
Like, no one wants to be mayor in this thing.
Died.
3 mayors have died in Arrow in a row.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, God. Poor mayors.
It's to the point where Oliver Queen now.
Thank God the mayor in Townsville is still okay.
Okay, anyway, so moving on to it. Let's see. So then Janice, so there are 2 candidates. So these are 3 candidates in the air right now. So Janice Caulfield, Randall Hobbs, and Galvan. He's not officially throwing his hat in the ring, but people are campaigning for him. Like they're voting him. So yeah, like like one of those kind of I don't know if it's like a Green Party, like third party thing or whatnot.
My whole thing with Galvan, I think he's a good actor. I think he's a decent character, and he's got a decent plot going. But I just don't think it's going to be enough to carry through an entire season. Well, I really don't.
I got some views on Galvan. I think you actually kind of helped sway me a little bit on one of the things in Galvan. We'll see.
Okay.
The point is, so Galvan and Penguin have a scene here, and basically, it's Penguin. It's Oswald Cobblepot. No, it's Penguin. Name grew on me. I already didn't like it. It's a nice little pleasantries being seen. Yeah, pleasantries. Pleasantries.
Oh, speaking of pleasantries, Max Therio's birthday was a few days ago, so I shared that on my Facebook, and I just put pleasantries, Dylan.
Oh, it's so nice.
Happy birthday, Max.
I hope you enjoyed that. Young Bruce Wayne, all the way.
Oh, I don't think he saw it, but
well, there's always hope. So, anyway, so the little pleasantries. I like the little pleasantries. They couldn't again addressing the name thing from the first season. That's nice. So Barbara walks in again, just kind of first of all is giving away some of Galvan's mystique, but again, maybe intentional. I don't know. Barbara walks.
Who knows with this guy?
Interestingly enough, Penguin again smart as a whip, and he pieces it together. Okay, so you were responsible for the breakout because here she is. And also,
Penguin pieces it together.
There's a bit of odd. Barbara points out, oh yeah, we've met, because they have met in the 3rd episode way back in the 1st season.
right.
Hey, then there's a really stupid forced kissing continually. It's just they're really forcing that.
It's so forced. It is so goddamn forced, and I don't know if the show is supposed to have us be like, oh, that's so hot, I want to see more of that. Or if it's supposed to be like, oh, that's a little unsettling. What the fuck's going on?
It's like, look,
if it's supposed to be genuine drama, I have no idea what the fuck to make of it.
Look, the problem with it is that we have it's just instantly they get romantic. There's no relationship built there.
And then what's going on with Theo and Barbara? I thought that was a thing.
It's an open relationship, it would appear.
Oh God!
I don't know. Just let's put it to the side.
Look,
for now.
We were actually like getting on board the Barbara train for a while, but now after this, I am thoroughly back off.
I think Tabitha's getting most of the bullets right now, but Barbara has a moment and later on it really pisses me off.
Yeah, I will agree that Tabitha is definitely the more problematic out of the two so far. At least with Barbara, we've developed her. At least she has that going for her. Tabitha just appears out of nowhere, and she just has nothing going on.
I'll get into my dislike Tabitha bit in a moment. We're getting there. But Penguin here, a really great bit here. But again, Galvan, he's showing us some great presence, some great delivery on his stuff here. He's saying, oh, I was foolish to think I could trick the King of Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tabitha's coming in here saying,
"Oh God, oh."
Well, okay, is this your moment or is this my moment yet?
One of them.
Okay, well, anyway, so she says
you're not the King of Gotham. You're the King of garbage. Yeah. No. I don't know, elementary school kid. Yeah.
Okay, well,
King of garbage.
Well, this is a problem. This is a problem, but
that was the worst. That might be the worst line in all of Gotham. I am not even kidding.
Look, I wouldn't go that far. I'll tell you why.
I am not even kidding. That might take the cake. That line was fucking awful.
No, there are much worse lines taken, I'm sure you. My point is, well, this line though, I think the idea behind basically contributing to what Galavan's selling here makes sense, but again, it just comes out
She's
of
a
nowhere.
child. All she needs to do is fucking stick her tongue out at the penguin.
Right. No, but seriously, though,
It's like something an elementary school kid would say.
It comes out of nowhere. That's the problem. It's like way too direct. That's the issue. But the point that is being made that contributes to Gavin saying, pointing out like you're really the king of nothing, but you're being so direct and so insulting, so childish about it. That's the issue.
Yeah.
But seriously,
and then, Penguin kind of brings up his resume. He's like, Maroni and Fish Moon are dead at my hands. So I suggest
I carry Fish Moon's umbrella. Now look at me. Do not.
So I suggest that you don't underestimate me the same way that they did.
Then essentially, barring that really out of nowhere thing with Dev, then the kind of the point of it comes across, and basically Theo saying, "Oh, my sister's blunt but honest. 200 years ago, basically Gotham was constructed by 200 years ago by a group of dedicated people, and then we get unveiled.
Which we know to be his family, which he's hinted at before."
Exactly. Now here's the big reference I was really happy about. So this is a huge reference to Court of Owls, Tiki.
Is it?
So he unveils the little mock-up of the city. Now mock-up of the city. It's a reference to many things in that book actually. So Bruce Wayne kind of had this thing really, because the way it's structured here looks identical to Bruce Wayne's thing, except the blue in his thing was holographic, but still it's the same exact premise of Theo Galvin. He unveils this little mock-up of the city with these huge, really awesome-looking skyscrapers. And this, again, the whole King of Garbage thing does factor into Galvan's character thing if he thinks Gotham has been squandered. He makes that perfectly clear.
I mean, it makes sense because Gotham City, I get it. Garbage, it's kind of a dump, but...
Well, you're absolutely right. It comes off very childish when it's brought up.
Oh, it's so fucking childish.
That's what I'm saying, but I mean, the point of it, though, is there, and that's a decent point to make. That, she has a point, You are the king of nothing, right? It's essentially what Galvin saying. Now, it's a reference to Bruce Wayne at the beginning of that story. He basically said, I want to change Gotham. I want to take some structures, make them big, basically add these kind of holographic things on a big, really awesome mock-up of the city. And you see throughout the story the Court of Owls, just to show that Bruce Wayne is out of his depth with the Court of Owls, showing that they actually know more about the city than him. Like this really old, ancient, like hundreds of years old, like chiseled out of marble mock-up of Gotham City, is within the court. It's a big set piece. So there's awesome kind of Godzilla-looking shot of Batman fighting one of the assassins of the Court of Owls in this little mock-up of the city.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is also a bit of a reference to Mask of the Phantasm, which is really cool.
Right.
But seriously, that's the idea. That's a big hint that this is Court of Owls because they always have that mock-up of the city and just kind of going towards it. And just the blue kind of highlights that's a direct, at least it's a visual reference to it.
For sure.
It has to be. Because they could have gone
So Penguin points out that thousands of homes would have to be destroyed.
Which I love how Penguin's quick on the uptake, by the way. Like he's pointing out, well, that's a residential area.
And then Tabitha, she's just like, so.
You can now, basically Tabitha builds.
And then in my notes, I'm just like, Tabitha fucking sucks.
I'll tell you, basically Tabitha builds to a terrible crescendo.
Oh God, she's so bad.
It's basically like you're ripping your violin strings as you're playing, and then basically you smash it at the end. So like a terrible crescendo.
That's a good analogy, thank you.
So basically, I'll tell you, the end of the scene is what I really hate, and you'll know what it is. But
I do.
I mean, I love half of it with Penguin, obviously, but I hate her part of it. Anyway, so Galavan wants to improve the squandered city. Again, the whole city of the King of Garbage thing coming into fray here, which again builds on what we know about Galavan so far. Is that his ancestors built this city and they knew nothing. It's been squandered. They get no credit whatsoever. His ancestors built this thing, and it's going to start in the residential areas, which of course is the highly populated area of Gotham. And he points out, I think, Mr. Penguin, I think you have a flair for the task. You could be my destroyer. I love the presence of Galvan here. I think he's doing a really great job in this scene. Just saying.
I think he has a good presence in general. I mean, I don't think he has the same kind of presence that Jerome had, but obviously it's supposed to be different characters.
Exactly. So. And I think assuming he's going to tie into the Court of Owls in some way, I think it's great.
Look, if it was just him and Barbara and fucking Tabitha was just out of the picture, it would be great. It would be fucking perfect. Yeah. Tabitha is the problem.
Right, but yeah, you see what I mean though. Like, if he is kind of tied in the Corvus, it works perfectly. If like a guy obsessed with the city that
Yeah, absolutely. A guy who's obsessed with the city and he has roots to people who kind of built the city in secrecy and stuff like that. Sure.
Having such a master plan by assigning these grandiose roles to people, like, you can make your mark in history with me by you can be my destroyer. So yeah, Gallivan's been winning me over so far this season with stuff like that. But I'll get into my fears for him later on.
And I did write down in my notes, like, this is a little risky just putting all of his cards on the table like this to the Penguin.
Well, remember, he has a trump card.
What's his trump card?
Well, you know what his trump card is.
No, I don't. Oh, yeah, I do.
Yes.
You're right. Okay.
I
wrote that down in my notes, like, right before I found out. Okay.
Anyway, so then Penguin's saying, again, this is an interesting idea. I was a little curious what Penguin's saying here, but it makes complete sense for rewatching. It's like Penguin he says, "Oh, I'm flattered, but I'm a builder. I'm a problem solver."
Yeah.
But
you need an assassin. You can find them in the phone book under A.
Yes. And also Penguin's pointing there are hundreds of difficulties. Like hundreds of other, basically contractors and everything. And pretty much, well, if I were mayor, then by popular demand, I'm a candidate practically already. Well, I need you to eliminate the competition and also target me. So basically, just laying out what the plan is. And so even though Penguin's kind of said, "No, I'm not really your guy," but he's trying to sway him on. So first, I'm thinking, okay, this Penguin's going to step in here. That, well, I need you to eliminate my competition. Also, take a swing at me, so they think I'm also a target. So I'm above suspicion.
Right.
Sound plan so far, right?
It is a good plan.
So far. Yes. Anyways, then Penguin's just still refusing. He says, "Not your man," then the assassin's bit. And then Gallivan, again, like we saw with Sionis, it's never a good idea to back out of whatever Gallivan wants for you.
No.
Basically saying, I took you for a man of vision. And then, well, before we get to the downer of the episode, let me just say, I want to linger on why Penguin said no for a second. So he's saying no because smartly, again, Penguin has some vested interest in say he wants to be kind of looked to as kind of the Vito Corleone of Gotham. He wants to be viewed as the guy who helps people, but through crime, people accept him because they love him. He wants to be, again, he wants to live up to his mother's expectations of being kind of the proprietor of a nice establishment, being kind of a beloved citizen of Gotham, being essentially an unofficial mayor of Gotham, being like a city boss in a way.
I have some issues with the way the mother storyline plays.
Well, yes. We'll get into it in a minute, but you see what I mean? It's kind of neat that Penguin's trying to strive for legitimacy like he always does, and of course here he's trying. Well, I'm not going to get involved with this because he has his own master plans, but eventually it's probably going to.
No. If I were the Penguin, I'd be like, dude, you sketch, bro. You sketch.
And he's thinking, well, if I hook him up with my assassin too, probably if I instantly hook him up with Victor's ad, it's going to be a link to me. I don't want to put myself in that.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
So you see, Penguin's actually worried. He said, "Look, I'll help him out to a degree, but I'm saying, find an assassin. That's what you need for this job. I could probably help you. I could pitch you like a whole Godfather ending type assassination job, but I'm not."
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so saying I'm not your man, of course, Galvin's this point. Then he says, Tabitha, it's your portion of that plan B then. And it's just, yay.
Yay!
That's one of the worst. Just the way she says, only.
Oh, God.
Okay, then basically we see how twisted
these women are just constantly bored.
Okay, that's a big issue.
That is their main lot in life. They are always just fucking bored.
Yeah. So here's what I really hate Tabitha this episode, this bit right here. So basically, we see how twisted Tabitha is, and basically she's seeking so much joy.
Doing something for a goddamn change.
No, she's not even doing it. She pushes a button just to. She basically pushes a button and unveils that Tabitha had kidnapped his mother and put her in a room, taken her prisoner.
And we've been speculating this was going to happen since last season with Maroney.
Yes, I mean, finally we're getting somewhere with that. So Mrs. Kubluk, she has been kidnapped. Yeah, she's been kidnapped by Tabitha, which we can assume was a violent action too, by the way. So again, Tabitha's really twisted. It's like a villainous act, but still, it's like she seeks joy out of the silliest things.
It's just her delivery, man. It's like they have her give these really stupid lines, and then when she tries to be intimidating, it's like we can't even take her seriously.
It's like Gallivan, you get a sense of like, hey, you don't really know, you can't really get a good read on the guy because the guy has such a great kind of presentation. Tabitha, she doesn't have any of that presentation. It's like she just gets, hey, I'm doing something really mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like no actual joy from it, just like surface joy of like, hey, I get to do something that's going to hurt someone else. Yeah, but not like Jerome. Jerome would obviously have something like, I'm laughing at this person's pain with all the gusto I can
No, it's
muster.
yeah, she doesn't get off on it. It's to her, it's just
It's
kind of
entertainment to her. It's like
right.
basically I'm vaguely amused by this. No true joy from it. And again, basically, kidnapped Mrs. Cobblepot just makes you really hate her as a character. Like, first of all, how do you do that, poor Mrs. Cobblepot? So basically, they die, she lives. That's the arrangement Galvan's pointing out there.
And then we finally get our title, like 15 minutes into the episode.
But yeah, I mean, that's a good thing to go out on, though.
It's a good thing to go out on, yeah. But I think that we could have just kind of cut out the Vic Mackey stuff and led right into, the going from the Penguin stuff to this, and that would have been perfect.
But
again, Gotham not really knowing when to do the titles.
Well, no, I mean, it's still they knew when to. But again.
Well, the issue is it goes on far too long. I mean, I'd be curious to go back and look, but can you think of a single Breaking Bad cold open that went on for more than one scene?
I think there might have been a few. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and I'm sure there's been one or two, but like consistently the best ones are always the ones that are like a singular set piece and you're like, what the hell's going on?
Right. Okay, anyway, so but seriously, I want to point out again that one of the best moments of acting here in Robin Lord Taylor here is this great moment of just like looking in. You get to see the Penguin. He's been really cocky up to this point, and just
sure.
Yeah, it's a really great situation with the Penguin. His mother is like his big weakness. Has been kind of the low-hanging fruit of the Penguin. It's like now even Maroni found it. Maroni found this out. It's been there, and it's been a weakness of his that he thinks he's kept hidden. Galvan, this guy, comes out of nowhere and says, "Hey, listen, I have your mother. So all your power you think you have, really." That's one big matzo ball I have now in my court. So basically, he's looking at Robin Lord Taylor's face right in the camera. Is looking at it, just pain, like all the anger and all the restrained anger and frustration of like my world is crumbling around me, and I am pissed off.
Oh yeah, big time.
So really great acting on the Penguin this whole episode. That's one of the big moments right there of it. Though. Him looking of like just complete utter terror and anger at the same time.
Absolutely.
So Barnes calls Tompkins. It's basically, I hope you're gonna be able to put away a lot of dead bad guys, and also let me talk to Jim. Okay,
you heard that, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, so
half hour in.
Right. So anyway,
I love that bit with God damn it, I'm gonna keep wanting to call him Mackie.
Don't call him Mackie. Call him Barnes.
I know.
Barnes or Chickless, one of the two.
Barnes or Chickless.
Anyway, so Barnes here basically he's calling Tompkins because he wants to talk to Jim, and again,
I'm gonna send you a whole lot of dead bag ass.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have a gripe with him in this scene, so. So he calls. Then he hands it over to Jim, and Jim's saying, "Okay, well, meet me here." Also, one more thing, sir. How did you? And then I thought this line was mean, coming from Barnes. Says, "Let everyone knows you're banging the ME." That was mean.
I didn't have a problem with that.
That's disrespectful to Tompkins.
And
he just talked to her.
Yeah, but he gave Tompkins a compliment, though.
Yeah, but still, banging the ME. That's crazy. You could say you're dating the ME. How hard is that? Anyway.
It's police talk, dude.
That's still mean-spirited police talk. Don't bang in the end. Yeah. That's unnecessary.
I don't have as big a problem with it as you do.
That's a minor gripe. I got another potential fear with Barnes kind of. Anyway, so there's a great scene. You know what I mean? I love Gordon at a police academy.
Of course. I think this is probably the scene that you wanted to see the whole time.
I was so happy with this scene. Let's just say in the recent Batman comics, there was a scene where he's like watching young police cadets kind of continuing on the Batman Gordon dynamic. I thought it was really moving, and it's kind of reminded me of it. So Gordon at the police academy. There's a really great shot.
He's looking at his old graduation portrait, I'm assuming.
Yes, like his graduation photo. Little. Yeah, everyone their uniforms and everything. Anyways, but I love in this shot though. It's Gordon looking into the case, and you see the reflection on the wall opposing him. So you have two Gordons in frame. And what's so great about the scene, like reading into it, is that Jim, he's looking at. You could see he's looking at us with pride, but no, he's not looking at it with pride. He's looking at it with immense guilt over his choices of late. Like I was so formally idealistic. That was me fresh out of the academy, and look at what I've done now.
And that's definitely going to be a cloud that hangs over him, not just this episode, but for probably a lot of the episodes to come.
So literally Gordon being confronted by the past, and I think that's a great
Sure.
shot, and I think it's a great thing to factor in there. Gordon, he viewed himself so clean-cut idealistic, going out to save Gotham, and now he's still saving Gotham, but through very dark means. And again, with the guy coming in here to remind him that, hey, we can still win this fight.
So Barnes comes in and he's like, you weren't the strongest or fastest or most academically gifted, and yet you finished top of class.
Oh, yeah. Now, let me address a gripe, more fear than a gripe I have with Barnes. And people have pointed this out as an issue, and I have to agree with it. If they continue, after this scene, they kind of get a little too military obsessed. I don't want them to be too military obsessed. I know it's an element.
I don't have a problem with it because frankly, I think it's the kick in the pants that the GCPD needs.
No, I'm saying that stuff's fine. I'm just saying literally the military jargon. He keeps saying soldier every 5 seconds. That's my issue. It's
I'm just
saying
that's a minor writing gripe.
That's the thing. I'm just saying going forward.
I think Chickless definitely performs the character really well. You got to admit that, right? He has a presence to him.
I'm not liking the character. I'm just liking the dialogue. It's like mentioning he's a soldier every 5 seconds. We get it, okay?
All right.
I'm just saying, and it's the fear for the future. If they keep going,
but this was a good line.
Some people
You saw combat while your classmates were still playing with themselves in their parents' basement.
Like that line for me, that's what I'm saying. That's a little too much.
I like that line. Fuck you.
Hey, I'm saying
I like that line.
I mean, it's fine. That's what I'm saying. It's like a little too military. It's like it's a little too military.
No, it's pointing out why Jim has the advantage, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Jim was in the shit from an early age.
He was. But if we don't really talk about Jim in the military, which I'm hoping if they're going to do that with this character,
we're going to do that. We're going to go there.
If they go there, then I'll be fine.
We will.
But that's what I'm saying. Grand scheme, if they go a little bit more into Gordon's military background, it's always been kind of like a thing.
And I think this guy could actually be a catalyst to get some of those stories.
That's the thing. It's like basically it's an element we've never really seen explored with Gordon though, which has always been kind of mentioning his military experience. Now in the current Batman comics, they're addressing the fact he's been a Marine. But if the series does give some explanation for some of the stuff that he went through, might prove. That's the thing. If this military stuff is going somewhere, then it's fine. Otherwise, it's a little in your face. Like reminding you, he's like some people have said it's like a little too not. It's a little. Basically, it's talking off the military. It's basically just saying, "Oh, the military people love the military." That's what people criticize.
Basically like Michael Bay.
Yeah, people have been saying that about this.
I don't think it's Michael Bay at all.
I'm saying, all I'm saying,
Michael Bay is military porn, my friend.
That's what I'm saying. That's some people have said.
I don't think it's nearly as bad as how Michael Bay portrays the military.
All I'm saying is my fear is that it could go that route. But
this guy's a foul mouth, but this guy's also a hard ass, and he's got a good vision. I don't think there's really much wrong with him. I was really drawn into him.
I am drawn into him. I'm just saying if they just cut out the soldier every 5 minutes, unless they're going somewhere with it. That's the thing.
Well, like I said, they could be going in a way where it's a catalyst to get more of the Jim Gordon and the war storyline in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, a basic point, we need help. That's why we're here.
Yeah, we can't carry on doing everything on their own. They need I do love this idea. They want young cops who still have faith in the system.
Yeah, get them before their spirits are broken into precincts. And this is a great scene. I don't want the military thing's just a potential concern, but you see what I'm saying, though.
It seems like a nitpick more than anything else.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but seriously, it's a really great conversation about bringing in hopeful cops. And then we're in the gym. They're in the gymnasium. Yeah. So we see this. I love. So this is the stuff I love. Just Jim of the Police Academy. And that I love fleshing out the history of Jim Gordon.
Sure.
So basically, Jim's an old.
He's an old teacher, and the old teacher's like, huh?
Gus.
Oh.
What the heck was that?
I'm trying to do an Illuminati thing. Gus Fring and Gotham. It's connected. Conspiracy.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. That was lame.
Anyway, so with the trainer here, basically, I love this guy. It just gives you all the history you need in just one line. Just saying,
this guy argued a lot.
And Gordon saw it as, questions mostly.
So we've got this female officer in the ring.
You're going to love this. My nickname for her is like I don't know her name quite yet. I say the girl who should have been Montoya.
Should have been
This is my nickname for her until we get like a name and repetition, assuming she doesn't get killed off. I'm gonna.
What if she's like Montoya's niece or something like that?
I'm just calling her girl who should be the person who should be Montoya or like real Montoya, one of those two.
Real Montoya.
But here's the thing, because this actually, Tiki, I'm serious. This is actually because in the animated series she started off as a cop, she worked her way up, and this actually fits exactly how they should have introduced Montoya. Exactly.
You're right. You're totally right.
The other one was complete misfire, and they're not going to bring her back. So why didn't they just go?
It's like they introduce Montoya as like this uppity cop who has no respect for Gordon.
Hey, might as well just do what the Dark Knight did. Call the other one Ramirez and just say real Montoya.
Right.
I just call the one that was with Barbara Ramirez, and everything would have been fine because everyone knows that one's kind of doomed as a doomed fate. And this one, call this one Montoya, the young one brimming with hope. Anyway, again,
but she definitely seems like she has the potential to develop into a cool character. We haven't seen much of her yet.
Yeah, basically a small, it's a smaller character, but she has a lot of patience, which son Gordon lacked apparently, which I love. Okay, then they're doing some interviews with some other guys. So, there's one Pygmy who was denied opportunities growing up in his neighborhood, and again, these are cops with some interesting backgrounds. I wish they worked in. I do wish one of their names has worked into be a Year One Dark Knight Returns character named Merkel, which is kind of like one of Gordon's idealistic kind of protege cops.
I think I remember that guy.
Yeah, that guy would be kind of nice. Basically, the guy was like he looked up to Gordon in the precinct, and it would have been kind of nice to see him there. But it's fine. Well, there's always the future.
There's a lot of comic book characters they need to juggle on the show, anyways.
Anyway, so let me say any of these no-name guys could be named. We'll see. We'll see what they do. So there's Martinez. He's a marksman. He practices at the gun range. They got interesting backgrounds. There's I think
he's still working out his anger at the gun range.
Yep.
Then there was one guy whose father's family business was destroyed by armed thugs, and they beat him to death.
Yeah, this guy in particular, I thought could have been Merkel. This guy. We don't know anything about Merkel. I'm just saying this guy could have an interesting background that could be Merkel. But anyway,
they all had interesting backstories. They all had very compelling reasons to want to make Gotham a better place, which is exactly what Gordon saw in them.
Yeah, the guy had like his father beaten by thugs though, and that's why he wanted. That's an interesting motivation. So, they all graduate, and they're now part of the unit, the Alpha Strike Force unit, which is that you report to Jim Gordon, and he reports to me.
Oh, it's so cool to see Gordon rising up in the ranks.
Oh, yeah. And then Gordon brings up an interesting thing I think is going to be brought up down the line with these characters that they're going to become. And I think it's a really interesting foreshadow line saying, I know they're good kids. Force? That'll sound catchy. So basically, Gordon points out, they're good kids.
It's a big risk.
At their age, being experienced to this, it's a big risk. Oh, what could we lose? What do we have to lose?
Yeah, quite a bit.
So two things there. One, just kind of this is something again Do
you think it points out that maybe Barnes is perhaps a little bit reckless?
That's one thing. That's a big thing. Yes. So
I agree with you, but I think that's supposed to be part of his character. I know. I didn't necessarily view that as a flaw.
No, I don't. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just
okay.
Pointing out that's something that could be foreshadowed down the line. He's viewing these guys.
Oh, I absolutely think that's the way he's going to go.
Yeah, he's a little reckless. Again, like Gordon was in the beginning of season 1. He was a little reckless with his anti-corruption stance, which
of course.
And my other thing is I like the worrying about these young kids out in the police work in the most horrible city on the planet, because in the Snyder Batman story they got going on right now is like again the beginning. The reason Gordon accepted being the new Batman is because he didn't want these new cadets being put in this position because they got families and everything.
Right.
Anyway, so then Gallivan is receiving a Medal of Valor. Then there's an assassination attempt.
And I think this is a little over the top. I gotta say, I don't know.
Here's where I think you might have been right. This scene. So
the Medal of Valor and Bravery.
Yeah. So
really?
Yeah. Well, my point is here. So I think you kind of sold me on this one here because the reason I would have thought Gallivan. It's way too convenient the way this plays out. Like assassination attempt, instantly says spur of the moment, I announce my candidacy.
It's so goddamn convenient.
Yes, but here's where I think you might be on something.
Okay.
It's that you said Gallivan, that might be his character flaw is that he has this great presence and everything. It's much better behind the scenes than it is kind of in front of the cameras.
That's true.
And what I think they're building towards the whole season, what I think the main point of Gallivan is And we're gonna know.
So you're thinking that they're intentionally making this assassination attempt look sloppy.
Yes, and as they do with
and in the moment, everyone's so shocked, and then he announces he's running for mayor, and that's like a big sort of like, yeah, go get him.
And also, we had that with Jerome too, like when he was
sure.
with Jerome. Now, what I think it's two things. One, because we know Gallivan's going to be having eyes for Bruce Wayne this season. What I think the big overarching thing of the season is going to be Gallivan is kind of that dual personality, for the public life and of course the private life, having his own goal set in mind. So I think he's the model for what Bruce Wayne will become. So he is kind of the Bruce Wayne currently of Gotham.
Absolutely.
And Bruce Wayne is like working on that himself. His own mission, but looking like the public young figure in Gotham as the Wayne legacy. Oh, yeah. And the idea is he's going to become the perfected version of what Gallivan's trying to, but Gallivan can't quite get it nailed down, where Bruce Wayne will be able to. Mm-hmm. And with that, and also his character flaw might lead to Bruce Wayne finding the pieces to that's where this guy's weak point.
Eventually, we're gonna lead is Bruce Wayne kind of picking up the pieces on this guy.
It's like just the idea of this guy.
I frankly don't think this guy's been that careful. I really don't.
And again, the idea is this guy is blinded by his mission, where Bruce is growing into his mission, where he's that public face just to forward his own goals, or Bruce Wayne.
Right now, Bruce has got a lot of respect for the guy, but, when the world's greatest detective side of Bruce is going to kick in, and keep in mind, we're going to have that stuff with Silver St. Cloud, and that's going to connect Bruce even closer to Gallivan if it plays out well. So,
But you see what I mean? I think you kind of sold me they might be going somewhere with that little quirk of his, that he's an imperfect Bruce Wayne. Of course, Bruce Wayne filling into this guy in the end of the day. Two guys with dual identities, and one of them's a little kind of growing into the other one's a little imperfect at it. Right. The imperfect Bruce Wayne of Gotham. So let's see. So then Penguin and we get Penguin and Butch in mask, and this is a great sequence, I think.
It is.
So they're in mask. There's two guys on the outside of the campaign office. Penguin just walks in. He has like this hat, which I think is kind of a reference to the Penguin wearing the top hat. In some way, it's like he hasn't quite grown into the top hat yet.
Yeah, you're right. They're slowly building up his wardrobe.
Yeah. They say he's dressed very nicely. He's wearing a little top hat, so he's getting there. He's only missing an umbrella, a monocle, and the top hat.
The woman's like, "Are you here to kill me?" Oh, actually, yes.
Yes, I'm a mother. I have a mother too.
Oh boy.
And then he brutally murders her.
And then Butch is like off to the side, trying to confront the people, and this is fucking amazing.
So this feeds into the whole short circuit from brainwashing.
It does.
The Fish Mooney trauma thing. He's just
all right. Now just think of blue skies and cornfields. That's what I do.
So again, it's like the charm.
Why are you doing this? Darling, I have no idea, but we're doing crazy stuff all day long.
So it's like the charm and lovability of Gilsey from first season, but he's a little warped now because of what he's been through. It's just like he sees. It's like,
and then my absolute favorite bit is when Gilzeem, Penguin's like, "Let's go, Butch," and then Gilzeem's like, just with all the sincerity he can muster, he's like, "I'm sorry to ruin your evening."
But you see what I mean? Great. It's like those moments of why we fell in love with Gilzeem, but now it's a little warped.
Absolutely.
Because the brainwashing is just short circuit a little bit. And what this could say is that old Gilzeem is slowly coming back too.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken this long for old Gilzeem to slip back, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, remember he short circuited by the end of the season, so now he's
sure.
Let's see. So remember, he has been twitching the whole time, so he's been fighting it internally.
That's very true. We haven't really seen much of him so far this season. So this is really the first time that he's been in the spotlight.
And Penguin waddles away, and I love the little bit where they grab the clipboard and says, "Oh yeah, so don't think of your families because we have all your information." It's lovely, casual.
Oh God, right.
I love it. That's a brilliant move. Yeah, grabs the thing. We'll now have all your information, so innocent people getting hurt. So watch out for your families. Don't tell anyone about us. So yes, and then Bruce is at school, and you'll notice he's still sticking out. It's kind of a subtle detail. Hey, that's Bruce Wayne. Kids going around. It's like, oh man, it's Bruce Wayne. You see him? No time to
Alfred's waiting by the car, and Selina appears on the wall, jumps down, and
this.
Oh boy,
I didn't like this scene.
I didn't either. This was too far.
So
this was way too
points
far.
To it though. Selina got a really cool little flip.
Way too far, Alfred. I liked you, Alfred. I really liked you.
Yeah, so Selina, she does an awesome flip down there, and then it's a practical looking flip too. It looks really cool.
Oh God, Alfred just.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, I can't get behind this. I
can't get behind it either. I can't. Alfred
he just punches her just square in the face with no warning.
Yeah.
It's like, you know me, I am not the type of person to be all like huffy duffy and like, oh, that offended me. You know, quite the contrary. I have a pretty sick sense of humor. But I don't know, dude. There's something about that. There's something about a child, a female child, being hit by this military guy that I was like, oh.
See, for me, it's not the fact
I did not want to see that from Alfred.
For me, it's not the fact. It's just that it's Square Man punching a child who's murdered his friend. But what it is for me, it's that Alfred of all characters is doing this. You know,
I know.
Alfred, believe me, as upset as Alfred is, and again, Reggie, he knew Reggie was troubled though. So Reggie was on a downward spiral.
Well, that was my thing. It's like, I don't know. Alfred
shouldn't be pleased with her by any stretch, because again, he still felt to him that was still a troubled friend, and he still stabbed, and he still wanted to.
But it was a low blow. It was a fucking low blow.
It was. Now I'm saying Selena definitely deserved Alfred to be mad at her. She definitely deserved that.
Definitely.
But because then Alfred wanted to find him. We don't know if Alfred was trying to kill him or not. I don't think he was trying to kill him. He was just trying to find him. But he couldn't do it because he physically wasn't up to it. But just punching her, Alfred would never do it. Again, first of all,
he never would. Never, ever.
Yeah, believe me, Alfred's more than willing to shoot someone on Bruce's behalf.
And you know me, I have been loving this Alfred, loving him.
But you know, Alfred, again, he still always has that gentlemanly quality. It's not just the fact she's female; she's never hit it.
Look, I'm not saying this is like, oh, this is it. I can never like Alfred again.
Yeah,
because actually, he does something like in the very next beat that I actually really like. But
he does. I'm just saying this is when they ever have scenes with Alfred and Selena, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. It's a tough thing. But the point is,
but I do like Selena's acting here, because she is on the verge of tears. It's a very realistic reaction that a girl would have to be hit like that.
Remember, it's Alfred. He punches her square in the face, and then he says really mean line. Says, you know, Master Bruce's life will be a lot better without you in it. That's really mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. That line, along with the punch, that's not Alfred. That doesn't rub me.
No, you're right.
That's not Alfred. Would never do that. Like Alfred is like always said. Remember, in Dark Knight Rises, he tries to set Bruce up with a cat burglar for crying out. So being Alfred.
Okay. Well, let's get to the awesome Alfred bit then. Let's.
Anyway, so poor Selena Kyle, and it's a little forced too. Just thinking, we're supposed to feel sympathy for Selena because obviously you get punched in the face, which obviously we do. But still, it feels like a really forced bit of like Alfred.
But it's forced at the expense of Alfred's likability.
It's like what I'm saying though. It's really forced because at this point we have to get Selena out of the equation. Basically, we have to feel bad for her for being out of the equation, but do something really extreme for that. It's like, that's really forced. Like punching her square in the face to make us feel bad for her. That's way too much.
Right.
So then let's see. So then Alfred stops to Bruce and says, we got your dinner reservations, Mr. Gallivan, are made, and then says, okay, well, heading back to the mansion. Said, well, what are you doing, Master Bruce? Can't get in the car. Basically, gives some running shoes and I guess a change of clothes. And the mansion's 6.5 miles. Kind of a Bondian moment coming up here. 6.5 miles. Run back. Run back, and it's part of your training. And says, well, yeah, do you
expect me to walk home? No, Master Bruce, I expect you to run.
Kind of a Bondian line. Pretty fun though.
No, I got to admit that Alfred won me back pretty quickly.
It did.
It was a dick move on Selena, and I don't blame Alfred. I blame the writers for that, because that was just out of character for him.
Yeah, but then it's a little hiccup. It's like the record skipped for a moment.
Right, and then it's like, oh, Alfred, you're just as charming as ever.
It's like we're listening to smooth jazz, and then there's a bit of heavy metal in there, and then back to smooth jazz.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so let's see. So then we got we got Nigma working up the courage to. First of all, we got Edward Nigma. He's trying to work up the courage to ask Miss Kringle out on the date. First of all, he's trying to
practicing with the skeleton
with glasses on.
Yes. You perhaps felt my affections from afar. Afar, really?
So then awesomely, his shadow self, so to speak,
this is one of my favorite lines of the episode.
So the Riddler,
bumbling and fumbling and tell her what's up.
So basically, the Riddler side of the person.
What's up? You're
So,
right. It is like Starburst.
So Riddler's ego comes out, literally emerges from the shadows, which is really cool. And then he says, basically, just literally after he can't put up with Enigma's BS anymore, says, "You saved her life. She owes you. You know, take what you deserve." And basically, Enigma takes what he deserves directly. He just walks up to her.
Kringle's interacting with a whole bunch of intimidating-looking officers, but Enigma doesn't care. He's like, "Miss Kringle, would you like to go out to dinner?"
No, he doesn't say, dinner tonight. He gives her a little thing. He doesn't ask her. He says,
Right.
Dinner tonight. This
and he gives her a little address. He's like, "I'd like that." And he's like, "You will."
Oh, yeah. So what's so great about this scene, Tiki, is that this is our first glimpse at Riddler.
Oh, yes. Oh,
this
yes.
moment, it's the two of those personalities working together. That's
exactly.
Riddler.
Exactly.
Just the ego and giving someone a clue with an ego and saying, "Oh, you will." That's Riddler. We got a little taste of Riddler this episode. It's awesome.
So, all right, so we have a really cool window analogy here.
Yes.
You let it slide, you let a kid break a window, and he'll smash another one. And it's a slippery slope. And then he'll go on to dealing drugs, steal a car, commit a homicide.
Yep. So basically a zero tolerance policy. No unpunished
crime unpunished is a crime unto itself.
Yes. And then basically says no free passes, which of course for Jim, that means Jim's in trouble. He needs at least one free pass. Just one free pass. That's all he needs.
Right.
So again, I'm feeling you feel bad for Gordon because this is
Monopoly. Can I get a get out of jail free card?
Because here's the thing: it's like and they've said this too. This season's a lot of bad stuff's going to happen to Gordon this season. Like character, it's like this is Gordon's walking. He's paying for his crime this whole season.
Sure.
And I imagine how much of a kick in the pants this is to Gordon. And he finally gets someone like this on his side. Someone who, first of all, that respects Gordon and also has the same idea, basically a perfected version of Gordon's ideas. The guy who's all-encompassing, which, of course, interestingly enough, Gordon's like bending the line, which, of course, is the Gordon character in a nutshell. Of course, he's like zero tolerance for corruption, but he'll bend the rules, of course, like Batman down the line. And Barnes is completely one direction, which, of course, comes with risk, which I'm sure we're going to see with the Strike Force.
Oh, absolutely.
And with that, Gordon now knows the lay of the land of Gotham, which is an interesting position. He's looking upon himself from the first season in a way.
Yeah, you're right. He's having some self-reflection here.
And with that, though, it's Jim. He's like the worst possible punishment for him because this is exactly what he wanted, but he can't get on this guy's side without feeling a little bit of dread, like, oh man, no free passes.
Yeah, it's a really good device to build tension.
Like everything would be going Gordon's way had that not have happened.
Exactly, again, it's everything Gordon would have ever wanted, and yet it's somehow his worst nightmare.
Like real change is on its way to Gotham, and he keeps hammering in no free pass. You commit a crime, you're getting punished for it. And,
man.
So then then the uniforms. I love the uniforms bit, seeing the uniform for the striking. I just love seeing the word GCPD on the SWAT. I just love it so much.
Oh god.
Okay, then they get a call about the stabbing of one of our mayoral candidates, Caulfield.
Yeah.
They get down there, and Bullock picks up on like a pattern of assassination attempts or attacks.
Harvey wants names, but none of them will testify because they said that they have their names and addresses.
Now it's great here. I love this. Gordon's interrogation tactic here, this is a classic thing. He's just laying out the facts here and stuff. Again, Gordon is inspired by Barnes. He's still just going back to his old guns on this stuff, and it's working. He's saying,
absolutely.
Miss Caulfield was stabbed. She probably drowned in her own blood. And just lets that sink in. There's that description in books, and look, Gordon, it's pointless. And there's the moment there, and it's just, he walked with the waddle, and he was well dressed. And then I love the fear on Jim's face. Like he knows who it is, but he just hoping against hope.
Right,
it's not
right.
It's like, oh no. You hear like a little music cue, like a little piano key playing. Like,
a little bit of a Penguin music cue going on. Right.
Like he knows he has in Gordon's darkest fears. He knows who it is. The monster I created. See, I remember Gordon created this monster. This is all Gordon.
Sure.
In a way of like Batman's linked to the Joker, Gordon is linked to the Penguin in the show.
Oh, I think that's a beautiful parallel that the show's been playing with, for sure.
Okay, so let's see. So then we got
Bruce and Gallivan meeting
up. Yes. First of all, really nice. This restaurant looks fantastic. It really does.
Well, it wouldn't have been my first choice, but I wanted to thank you. Well, Bruce, I wish there was some tedious function that I could drag you to.
Yeah.
So Gallivan, he's definitely got a charm to him for sure.
And again, he has grand designs for this kid because you should know the Court of Owls not too crazy about Bruce Wayne.
And so he's starting to put in a little bit of doubt about the GCPD. He's like,
yes, your parents'
I wanted
case.
to speak to you about your parents' passing. It's disappointing that the police couldn't find anyone.
It's astonishing, even. They couldn't, even with your company's resources, nothing.
And then Bruce very much agrees. He's like, yes, it was very disappointing.
And what I love, a little nod to Batman here, and again, in the classic kind of dual identity style here, which is really awesome. Bruce Wayne distracted by what's going on outside the window. That's a classic Batman.
And I was distracted too because I was like, what the fuck is up with this crazy girl dancing in the fountain?
So we see, and this is actually kind of a Silver thing. She's kind of the whimsical side of Bruce. That's the idea. Like, she's kind of the free spirit. Kind of
I guess so, but in a show that's so all about crazy people, it seems like a very crazy thing to be doing.
Yeah, she's kind of saying. It's like the idea. I think is like she's kind of like how Mary Jane was a party girl in the Spider-Man comics. That was the idea of Silver St. Clair. I know more about Silver St. Clair from the Kevin.
One of the single best comic book panels in history. Let's face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot.
Unfortunately, I basically need to know two halves about Silver St. Cloud. There's this old Steve Englehart story where basically Joker tortures her, and there's this other one. I know the Kevin Smith side of it. I know like what he's done with the character. And that's actually a really beautiful thing. Basically, she got Bruce Wayne to they almost got married, and it was a really beautiful relationship that he wrote there. And basically, the point where like Bruce could actually let his guard down. He'd actually enjoy life with this woman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. That's the idea. She's kind of the free spirit that kind of gets under the cowl, so to speak.
Well, right now I'm not really feeling her all that much.
That's fine.
I'm sure she can have, time to improve, but
she's not like a long-lasting girlfriend. It's always doomed for
failure. Right.
I got theories for it. We'll get to that.
But so they'll be sharing a school soon. Silver went to spent 2 years abroad in Switzerland, which I thought was kind of cool.
Which again, kind of some globe-trotting bad, which got a bit of last season.
Right, exactly.
Went out of town.
Exactly. Bruce points out that he's virtually a new kid too, so they can kind of like be new kids together. And then BlueDragonFive, oh my god, the best musical transition ever happened. Before
that, I know what you're gonna say. I love that scene. I love that bit too. But before that, though, an interesting little drop, a little reference to Batman here. Some people might roll their eyes. I think it's a nice touch. Is that the explanation for Silver St. Clair is that it's Gallivan's niece, but not exactly his niece because it was a stepbrother's kid who's passed away. So now she is his ward.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah, you got that, huh?
Okay, so do you know who this is?
Yes, Louis Prima.
Yes, thank you. Oh my God, fucking Louis Prima is the shit,
he's singing the Gigolo song.
Oh God, I love Louis Prima.
So this is the whole.
He's so cool.
The Louis Prima Gigolo sequence is really great with Nigma here. He's getting ready for the date. You see Nigma cooking.
If you haven't listened to it yet, the Louis Prima album, The Wildest, which is what this song is from, just fantastic album all the way through. And of course,
Prima's one of the best.
Of course, Louis Prima being the voice of King Louis.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, man, Louis, I got into him like last year, and oh man, his style's amazing.
Oh yeah, I've liked Louis Prima for a time now. He's good.
Yeah, I mean, he is easily like the pre-1960s musical artist that I can just go back to and listen to over and over and over.
If they keep, I really hope they keep doing sequences like this down the line, having these really great music playing over a sequence, like something like that.
It seems to be one of their specialties, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it keep going.
No, it's like this one knocked it out of the ballpark. It's Nigma getting ready for the, and as
I love the transition though. I love the transition from Bruce and Silver kind of, hitting it off, and then Nigma.
It's a fantastic transition. So as the
Prima.
So as the Gigolo song is playing, which is a perfect kind of date.
I got way too excited for a song that's like 80 years old.
So I got to tell you, along with "Luck Be a Lady Tonight," Gigolo is probably the best preparing for a date song.
Oh yeah, it's fucking great.
Much as believe me, I love "Luck Be a Lady Tonight." It's a great song.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I love seeing Nigma cook. He's very precise about it, very Riddler-esque, and the sequence kind of reminded me of. Again, the way I think it was done much better, but. It reminds me a lot of kind of the Batman Forever sequence of Nigma in his apartment, preparing stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It is done much better here.
Well, don't get me wrong. It's still kind of cool in there, too. I'm just saying this is a much better song choice.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he's getting ready in his apartment. It's a huge apartment, but it's like a meat locker type apartment.
Yeah.
He has a sliding door and everything. Anyway, so basically, it was a restaurant employee, so she was given an address and it was actually leading to his apartment. So she's a little confused. I'm sorry, it was a riddle. Get it?
We're doing good on the time, but just
right.
Yeah, we're an hour in.
Okay. Let's see. So, anyways, and then
we're doing good though. We're doing good. So
some formalities here. So, call me. He's saying, Miss. I'm sorry, Miss Kringle. Says, well, no, why don't you call me Kristen?
Oh.
Oh yeah, I love Miss Kringle.
Oh, here we go.
So then, before we continue with the date, we got Gilzine and Penguin here. Oh, this is a really nice scene. Mm-hmm. So again, Gilzine, it's a question of down the line if Gilzine's going to turn on Penguin and become a big threat, which could be interesting.
Right.
The idea here is
that with this scene, I think he very much got back onto Penguin's side.
But again, it's a question of how much of that is residual brainwashing, because it's like he recognizes that he can't go against Penguin in the program.
That's true.
But I think there is a part of him that he's worked with Penguin for a long time. You got to bear in mind, Mooney's Umbrella Boy. He knew him at that point.
Yeah, very true.
And of course, they worked together on some stuff after the brainwashing, so they've kind of bonded. Anyway, so he's worried about. He had to kill Fish Mooney shoot Fish Mooney because of Penguin. Mm-hmm. So he's always going to have a bit of embitterment towards him. So, basically, Penguin confides in him. He's really worried about his mind. Again, really great acting going on here. And Butch is also concerned.
Yeah, I love when Butch realizes that it's his mother, and he's like, holy smokes, we got to find your mom.
And you got to remember, Butch kind of lost his mom, so I did.
I wonder
if Gilzine might kill his mom.
Well, I kind of assumed that Mrs. Cobblepot was dead by the end of the episode.
Well, it's from what I've read, it's not the case. But it makes sense that it makes.
I know it was a little ambiguous, but
you're right. It's ambiguous, but I'm getting a strong vibe that because of the promo for next episode, she's not dead.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But
you're right. It is a little ambiguous, but I think it's we'll get to it. So
it's just his frustration over not being able to find her. Okay.
Yes. So anyway, let's see. So. He's here. They get a call. He's here. Okay, ready to move. And Gilzine's worried about making this move, and he's right to be worried. Because it's kind of a move that gives him away in the end. Mm-hmm. But again, gotta bear in mind, Penguin's very desperate right now. He's calling the stuff he didn't want to do. That's why he backed out of the deal.
Yeah. He
needs an assassin.
A little bit.
He's an assassin, so he calls him. And now we're led to believe there's going to be Penguin walking in there because that would be really dangerous. So he sends his best assassin. His best, most notable assassin, of course, is Victor Zsasz. So Victor Zsasz walks up to Hobbs here, our other mayoral candidate.
I love the bit where he walks by the piano and then just starts playing it all intimidating.
I love that so much. John Carpenter cue or something.
Right.
And so he walks through there, and basically, I love this. He grabs a pin. One of the best images of the episode. He walks by, he says, "Oh, cool pins." Takes one of the election pins, pins it on, gives his mouth, though his mouth is open, giving this face yeah. just like a thumbs up, really hilarious. So basically, he wants to volunteer as a protection detail. And he says, "Well, look, yeah, whoever he sent you, you can get out of here." And he says, "Well, look, you're outnumbered. It's five guys in here." He says, "Huh." But basically says, "Yeah, you're right. You are outnumbered." Then basically pulls out his two guns, or really kind of the whole holster job, one on each side. Pulls them out, shoots them all, and then he chases Hobbs out the room. Really great moves. And now I love to think that Zsasz here, that it's eventually he will kind of become that Zsasz we know, the desperate kind of obsessed shirtless Zsasz.
I think they've done a good job between season 1 and season 2 of putting him in that, pushing him in that direction at least.
And I kind of want them to go the Arkham game route, because that ties in the Penguin to Zsasz, which would work perfectly here.
Right.
And essentially, over a game, Zsasz lost his money. He went completely insane because the Penguin's casino cheated him out of his money. And Zsasz even stabbed a bottle into Penguin's eye, giving him a permanent monocle.
Oh dear.
But seriously, there's the idea that Penguin might have driven Zsasz completely off the deep end. It's an interesting idea. It would be kind of neat to see. And this idea here is seeing Zsasz at the top of his game is this master assassin. He's flipping, he's moving really fast. He's top of his game. Then going to see a desperate man with a knife down the line could be really awesome.
Exactly.
So then basically, as Zsasz chases him out there, Hobbs makes it out of this whole thing alive, amazingly. Which means Penguin's going to be still up a creek, by the way. Jim realizes, he sees Victor Zsasz there, which means he realizes, and to his horror, he's 100% confirmed.
I love when they both recognize each other.
They realize, oh no.
Oh boy.
Penguin's behind us. Penguin's behind this. Just the realization on Jim's face is like, oh, God.
I didn't even get a muffin when I kidnapped his girlfriend.
Yeah. I should have killed that lady. I wish you killed her too. Want to get a muffin? Yeah, sure. What the heck? Okay, anyway, so then there we come back and there's a really awesome firefight breaking out there. You know, they're dodging behind cars and stuff. You know, the strike force. You know, they see how effective they are. They actually manage it amazingly. So, Bullock's complimenting them. Say, okay, fine, they move well. So I love how Bullock's just kind of so negative about the idea of the strike team. Again, the Rio Montoya gets shot.
Yeah.
Hobbs is saved. Zaz is hit unexpected, and literally he says, "Huh, unexpected." And then he makes his escape. He shoots a fire extinguisher, and he makes his escape. Clever Zaz. You can't just kill him right there.
Mm-hmm. And then Gordon, he's just like, "You've just met Victor Zaz,
Penguin's top assassin."
That was cool. Kind of getting all the rookies in on kind of the lay of the land when it comes to the Gotham criminal underbelly.
Some of the best Gordon stories, is him breaking in the rookies. Always there's a neat little thing there, but also saying Bullock saying, "What's the Penguin plotting at? What's he going for here?"
Mm-hmm.
So then we see the date unfold. So
this is great. This is actually surprisingly heartwarming.
Well, take us through it.
Okay, so Kringle at first she's apologized. She's like, Mr. Nigma, I have been nothing but mean to you. And then Nigma, he's being very courteous. He's like, "Oh no, Miss Kringle, all I've ever done is annoy you."
Yeah.
But all you've done is been consistently polite, and I've ignored you.
Well, our interaction's been the best part of my day.
Remember when I accused you of writing Doherty's goodbye note? Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, he was a jerk. And basically, what a jerk. How could I ever fall for a jerk like that? It's just, yes, I'm glad he's dead.
Oh, bad move, Ed. Bad move.
Yep. So basically, and also I love this. The minute he says it, the record skips in the background. It's kind of
right.
I love the idea he's a record player, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the timeless feeling. It's coming through.
And he's got some Louis Prima vinyl.
Yeah. So then, the note said he left town. Well, I know that. It just meant he's dead to you.
Yeah, very poor choice of words, Ed.
Yeah,
the Joker would be disappointed in you.
Yep. Anyways, then she excuses herself, and then obviously Enigma's ego has some words to say to him, saying, "Well, you blew it." Anyway, so then he's just he's yelling himself, "I'll get out of here," and then Kringle hears this and thinks, "Wait, are you talking to me?" He says, "No, I'm serious." And she looks like she's about to leave, and this is a really sweet scene here.
This really took me by surprise, man.
I know it didn't go the conventional route at all.
Because the whole time we've had Kringle and Enigma on this show, we've thought that it would end poorly. It still will probably not end great, but
this kind of feeds in.
At this point in time, I almost think Kringle is going to be a good thing for Enigma.
Yeah, this kind of fits into that Harley Quinn angle with her.
Well, let's not go that far.
Well, no, I'm not.
I don't even want to think about Harley Quinn after the whole Barbara thing. But
well, I'm not. I don't mean like legit Harley. You know what I mean?
I know.
Someone. Point is, it's really neat. Again, it doesn't go the conventional route. It goes it's really nice route. So she says, Enigma just bears this kind of a Ratatouille type moment of just saying, "Well, look, I talk to myself." Because I'm a klutz. I talk to myself sometimes because I'm a klutz, and
the stronger version of myself helps keep me in line.
It's a wise, vulnerable moment here. This is really great.
Exactly.
It's like she understands, and she says, I get a voice in my head too sometimes. And he says, "Well, what was your voice saying?" "Well, he was mad at me for spoiling the mood, and maybe essentially saying, maybe we can get the mood back." My voice is saying,
telling you that we can get the mood back there.
And they kiss, but then the glasses touch, and then they remove them, and it's the sweetest thing you've ever seen.
Oh God, it's so fucking cute.
It's very nice, and again, there's a darkness there of like, well,
of course there's a darkness, yeah,
a darkness that again, kind of. When I say Harley Quinn, I mean there's an acceptance of maybe there's something a little wrong with her too. Yeah,
we'll see. You
gotta remember, she usually has bad taste in men. So that's kind of the underlying idea. She kind of likes the power streak in Enigma.
Okay, and now here we get my favorite piece of sound design in the episode. We have Penguin dropping an Alka-Seltzer into a glass of water, and the Alka-Seltzer's just breaking up, just fizzling.
No wine.
Oh, is it wine? Is it just wine? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it was wine. It was like yellow.
Okay, but I thought it was still like an Alka-Seltzer.
It was Alka-Seltzer, but it was in
Oh,
wine.
okay. Gotcha. But I love how that Alka-Seltzer is just dissolving throughout the scene. I love when, like, as I'm starting to get more and more acute to all the different filmmaking techniques, I'm really getting into scenes where sound designers have something like that in there to just kind of build up the tension of the scene, and I thought that was a really good job.
So Penguin's brooding alone. He's very stressed out about things, understandably, because, again, the job didn't go completely as planned, which means that guy's still alive, which means his mother's still in jeopardy, which means, Penguin's he's at wit's end here. So Gordon confronts him. Jim walks in again. Really bad time for Jim to walk in on the Penguin.
Yeah, not great.
So Gordon's confronting him, asking him why, and just like, what's your profit here?
It's complicated, Jim. Not now.
Just walk away, Jim. It's just then Penguin. Again, interestingly enough, Gordon here is kind of approaching him in a demented way,
right?
Like a friend. He's warning him. No more deals. The GCP has changed leaderships. No more deals. No more. More of this behind-the-scenes stuff. If they find out, and then he just goes, rousing speech. Truly. But again, you see, truly, that Penguin is at wit's end here. That you came, and it's basically showing how smart the Penguin is, just unraveling Gordon. You're saying, you came here alone, and you'd hate for the other cops to find out your secret.
Oh, God, yes, he would.
And basically, then Gordon, again, interestingly enough, Gordon here is always willing to face
them. Gun down Parker in cold blood. Over a debt to me.
Yep. It says, well, it was self-defense. Can you get any witnesses to that? Did you not have me have Loeb run out of town? And Jim walks away, and then he says this great line, which is very true to Gordon, which, again, makes sure with you that Gordon has grown definitely from that moment, and just showing you, again, makes me really, again, it's like, I don't want to complain about it, because you're at the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen next. Of him saying, I'll face whatever's coming to me. And that man says, as will I. And you'll notice, again, Robin Lord-Taylor delivering one wonderful performance here, you see on his face, he regrets this. He really regrets kind of treating Jim like this. And again, in a demented way, Penguin does view Jim as his friend.
Yeah, throughout the whole series, consistently, it's been like that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have time for Jim right now. Not in their little back and forth game here. He's just, he has his own thing in his mind here. It's just, I'll face whatever's coming to me. That's something Gordon would do. And I'm it's like almost like a Pixar matchstick. Like, how is Gordon going to get out of this? How is he going to keep his job? Gordon's not going to lie about that thing. I don't know.
Okay, so we have a nice little bit where the Strike Force and and real Montoya are kind of joking about her leg, and Harvey gets very serious. He's like,
well, the vest, the bullet's still in the vest.
Right. Yeah. And Harvey's just like, don't joke about near misses. That just kind of reminds me of the Harvey speech that we saw, of course, with him dying in the alley.
Basically, Uncle Harvey gives some advice. Don't joke over the near misses. Next one could be in your eye.
Right. And then Barnes comes in. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm saying, that's such a classic Bullock mode. Bullock, again, more so than Gordon. Again,
he'll shoot your eye out, kid.
In Gotham Central, Bullock has tons of these moments. Because Gordon's not in that story, Bullock will have tons of moments where he's kind of mingling with characters and just saying, like, giving them advice and stuff, saying, just bantering with the rookie cops. It's something Bullock constantly does. Not just in Gotham Central, but in other stuff. So then Barnes comes in.
Barnes comes up, and he's just like, all right, folks, it's time to take down the Penguin, Gotham's #1 enemy.
Your first real mission, enemy number 1.
Oh boy.
And just you linger on the shot of Jim, like, oh, poor Jim.
Yeah, like, it's so ironic. It's so tragic because Jim has went from, like, being ecstatic that this guy is here to now, like, okay, shit is about to come down hard on him.
Oh, yeah. So then we got Bruce is greeted by Silver at school, and then you get kind of, it's a bit forced, but it's kind of nice. I don't know. It's a nice shot.
It's forced. Yes, you're right. It's absolutely forced.
It's forced, but it's a nice shot. Again, it's hammering in the point, though. It's just that, Bruce is greeted by Silver, which is nice, and then you see, again, the counterpoint to that is you see poor Selena Kyle just down the street.
Mm-hmm. And then Alfred's narration is heard over her, like, I don't know what you want with Master Bruce.
Yeah.
But I'm certain his life would be a damn
that's where it was.
You win it.
Like, I might have bought it a little bit if we just had the visual image, even though that's still kind of hammering. But here, we absolutely did not need to hear the narration again.
Sure, sure.
That was completely pointless. That was wasted. So then we got Galvan.
Oh God.
Then we got to see
I'm
Galvan.
bored. There's nothing to do. I want to go outside.
Someone find Victor's ass. So Gallivan's choosing between the blue ribbon or the red ribbon, and he's trying to get. You know, I mean, I love my mundane. This is mundane. It's too stupid for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Choosing. These are the two worst.
Gallivan's got a good public presence, but like scenes like this where he's just interacting with Barbara and Tabitha don't really play well.
Moments like this make me miss Zordon.
Oh God!
Yeah, it was ambiguous.
Zordon was the main villain of the series.
It was ambiguous if he died or not, but we assumed he died because he's not in it anymore.
Yeah.
Where's Amygdala? Why couldn't he just be doing this with Amygdala instead of Barbara?
I'd be surprised if we ever followed up on Amygdala.
No, I mean he's around. He hasn't been killed. Yeah. They only had 2 people survive that Arkham breakout.
But on a lighter or darker note, if you will, the episode goes out pretty poetically. So how do we see that?
It does, and then again, I don't want to talk about the other thing. It's stupid. The only important part to come out of that Galvan scene, though, again, just aside from I'm bored.
I'm bored.
Again, Babs, you're making me want that Zaz to earn his muffin. But
it was great. Zaz did kill off Barbara, and then Barbara happened to be making muffins, and you said,
"Well,
I finally get a muffin now."
You know what? Zaz should consider doing an internship with Galvan because Galvan does provide donuts and he provides other baked goods. So I don't see why muffin wouldn't be one of those. However, seriously though, he does point out the whole idea of the Penguin is that the Penguin is a distraction while he steals the mayor's office.
Sure.
Which is it's a decent plan. Again, why Barbara and Tabitha just have to sit there doing nothing, that's another matter entirely. Anyway, so we had a really poetic ending. So again, Penguin's just sitting there in that brewing shed in front of the fireplace. And then Gilzine comes in. He says, again, Robin Lord has a wonderful line here saying, "Did you find her?" And
Gilzine
then
puts his hand on his shoulder.
Like a note, sorry, Slugger, no luck.
Now, I don't know. For some reason, I read this Yes, I did find her, and she's dead.
Look, I read it the same way, too, but I looked into it. It seems the evidence is pointing to her not being dead.
All right. Well, regardless if she's dead or not, I think we can safely say she's probably going to be the next one to go.
Oh, she's definitely going to die, but at this point, she's not dead.
My issue with this whole thing, my only issue with the Oswald thing, is if we never get any kind of resolution on how Mrs. Couplepoot discovers at the end of the season that Oswald is a mobster, and then we just never have any other scenes with that.
Well, she kind of knows already, so we're not sure. Remember,
no, I know she knows already, but I feel like we need to have at least some sort of follow-up with it.
Well, I'm sure we will, but I'll tell you, we'll get in a spec in just 1 second. Anyway, so we get this really powerful ending, and he just like throws his drink or something at the fireplace, he's just in outrage, absolute outrage.
Yeah. Probably the most enraged that the Penguins been this whole series thus far.
It's a very powerful thing to go out on. Again, you feel your heart goes out for the Penguin, even though you really shouldn't. But seriously, though, it's a heartbreaking moment, though. It's like for Penguin.
Sure,
He was at the beginning of this season. He was like king of Gotham, like shooting people to the songs. And now it's just completely all that magic's gone. The fire has gone out, and the Penguin's like, no. No, seriously, the last image of Epps is the shadow of the Penguin just screaming in outrage.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay.
All right, so you want to do speculation?
Yeah, promos real quick. I'll just tell you what the promo is. It's basically big hints at Court of Owls, asking.
That's cool. That's cool. I feel like they need to start I feel like the first 4 episodes we've been getting hints at Court of Owls. I feel like now that we're about getting close to that chunk where we're about a quarter of the way through the season, we need to start slowly building it up more.
Yeah. There was like there was a hooded guy asking about Bruce Wayne, and basically Galvan's plans for Bruce Wayne. So Galvan's looking into Bruce Wayne. We're getting Firefly next episode.
That's been teased up for a while.
The next step, and he's gonna be in full. It's gonna be interesting to see. He's gonna be like in a full costume, but it's not just gonna be clear cut. There's one Firefly. It's gonna be a gang.
Well, we need more maniacs, so maybe Gallivan will recruit them.
Maybe, but also the thing. The next episode's called Scarification, which
thank you for pronouncing it for me.
It is indeed Scarification, and with that title it means also I literally pulled up definition. It means burn patterns are also involved in that. So.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm just saying burn patterns definitely fits in with Firefly. So it could also mean like mental scars along with physical burning scars.
Harvey Dent, perhaps?
Well, maybe. We'll see.
I don't know. Seriously, Harvey Dent is just as much of a red shirt as he was.
Well, you know, Dent would be
season.
welcomed at this point because I'm sure Barnes would go nuts for Dent because you love this guy.
I don't love him at all. I think he's kind of a waste.
No, I'm saying like that would be the opportunity to kind of give him some purpose.
Oh,
like, well, Barnes would welcome this guy with open arms.
Okay, so episode 6 is By Fire. Would that be Firefly?
Are you sure that's episode 6?
Yeah, that according to Wiki, it's episode 6.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess it's gonna be 2 episodes of Firefly then.
Okay.
Yeah, but also the whole thing about the last thing in the promo for this next one was like, you know, look, Penguin's like the thing makes me think his mother's still alive. Is Penguin still in service to Galavan? So he's not just.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Makes me think that he's still, you know, she's still alive and he still needs her.
And then episode 7, I think, probably has the most interesting title out of all the season 2 episodes so far. That's,
what is it?
Mommy's Little Monster.
Oh God.
Which makes me think that might perhaps be the resolution to the Mrs. Couplepoot storyline.
That, you know, it could be, and well, it'd be a tough thing to pull off, but that would be the primary story. And what it could also be is Selena's background episode.
Oh, I didn't even consider that. Right.
It'd be a bit of like a dual thing, and a bit of a Batman Returns vibe too. Penguin and Catwoman.
And then in terms of broad speculation, I mean, I think we're right on the money in terms of Galavan's gonna just ride a high for a while, and then maybe the second half of the season is Bruce kind of connecting the dots and realizing how shady this guy's been. But I feel like they put it in there just enough that this guy's made some mistakes so far, and I feel like those mistakes are going to come back.
I'll tell you what, you know, of course, I think if they do the Corvez, the idea is like perhaps season break. I'm just throwing this out there. Season break, Galavan gets killed off for his incompetence, and then another guy takes his place.
That could be, but
I'm saying maybe. I don't really buy into that. I'm just saying it's like if they do the Corvette.
If that was the case, then I wouldn't want a new guy. I would want someone like Nigma or even like Mr. Freeze to take his place as the main villain. I wouldn't want just some random new character like I'm the big villain now.
Well, what I'm saying is like whoever. Like I'm saying our other characters who've been established, you know, or the villains yet to be introduced would take over.
We were all kind of speculating that season 2 was going to be Nigma's big rise to power, and so far that hasn't really.
Well, they've said. All I know is they said that Nigma's definitely going to be obsessed with the Penguin this season.
Sure, right.
And obsessed with his rise to power.
Seed in the totally mismarketed moment.
Yeah, but seriously though, what they could do, I'm not saying they're. I think I'm this spur of the moment idea here, spitball, and that. Sure. If they did the thing, basically another villain would take the spotlight, or a new series of villains would take the spotlight. In the background would be the Court of Owls, realizing, okay, we took the direct approach. It's a dumb idea. We need to reformat that plan. But we're going to have our guys in the background doing these shadowy things.
I hear you.
Which is the Court of Owls style. And by the way, so you know, a little inside joke. Scott Snyder heard directly from the man. He said... if they do, basically, you know, the Court of Owls, they've talked about Scott. They talked to Scott Snyder about Court of Owls, and he said he had a stipulation for him. So you don't know how serious he was with this, but it'd be awesome if they actually did this. That if they use the Court of Owls, they have to have whenever they have the shadow, like all of them with the mask on, 2 of them have to be Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo with giving thumbs up to the camera.
Hell yes.
Just like two. If you ever see 2 owls in the background, one's a little short, one's a little muscular, give them like thumbs up. That's them.
Okay.
Anyway, so like real quick spec. I think I'm really hoping that Penguin has like a Penguin's Umbrella style master plan to get revenge on Galavan.
Oh, it's the Penguin, dude. I'm sure he does.
I'm just saying because in the promo there's this awesome moment where like Penguin says, "I know who the boss is," or something like that. Like whatever you want to do, something like that. It makes me think if Penguin has worked up like a grand master plan type thing, that'd be awesome. Again, maybe they build up Gilzean's helping the Penguin in the first half of the season, then perhaps second half he's kind of the big bad guy the next of the season.
I couldn't see Gilzean being like the big bad guy of the whole show.
I'm saying the big monster.
I could see him being a real problem for the Penguin down the line.
Or what they could do if maybe season 3 Gilzean's the big mob force.
I don't know. I just feel like Gilzean's been built up as so sympathetic that it'd be really hard to. It'd be a really big kind of like tonal shift to make him the big bad guy. I could see him being a villain, certainly, and already certainly has villainous tendencies. But I'm just saying, he is like so likable.
Well, okay, fine. What if he's just a big mob force of next season?
I could see that, and I also thought that they were kind of starting to go that way in season 1 before the whole brainwashing thing happened.
That's the thing. What if they kind of build that direction this season, then next season it's like then he's kind of one of the other competition Oswald Cobblepot has.
We'll see.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. I hope. I'm really hoping Barnes, but I'm hoping they take the high road here. Hoping they do the unconventional thing where it's. The Kim Wexler approach, I like to call it. So I'm really hoping, because all this tension is just making me think, how are they going to get out of this? I hope Barnes just begrudgingly makes an exception for Gordon in this. Like, no more than 2 episodes they continue this tension,
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't want them to drag this on more than 2 episodes of
and I also wouldn't want it to just be like, oh, Jim loses his job, so now he's back on square one again.
That's the thing. I don't want him to lose his job again. This would be the 3rd time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. They've got to do, if they're going to do this right and keep him around, they got to do this thing where, like, Barnes respects Gordon so much, or Gordon earns so much of his respect, he gives him the one pass that he swore he would never do. Gives him one pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's like... Mm-hmm. If they do that, I'm hoping they go that route. That'd be taking the high road because not much here. Okay, so again, I hope they go somewhere because eventually what they are going to do with Tabitha is Selena's going to be mentored by Tabitha and the whip and stuff. So
yeah, but that's going to be fucking awful.
Again, I'm hoping Selena.
That's not going to be good at all.
I'm just saying, you're right. It looks hopeless, but the only hope we could have is like Selena will make her better.
But we had that hope with Barbara.
No. Barbara was a lost cause, Tiki. Remember, she was corrupting children. There was no, like, Selena saving Barbara.
Well, there's a little bit of it. There was that one time where Selena kind of told her off, but
she did. That was Barbara didn't jump off the building, though. She didn't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so again, if they do, however they do, they got to do it fast, and they got to make it count if they're going to save Tabitha. They got to have Selena swoop in there and make her a good character.
Sure. So we have 1 minute before this episode goes on to an hour and a half. So let's wrap it up with some final thoughts.
Okay. Real quick, I get something about Penguin's father. He's been announced, so we should talk about him real quick.
Yeah, Paul Rubens.
Yeah, so I think Penguin's going to seek out his father. He's going to be introduced to save the mother.
Okay, that could be.
And also, I think Firefly is going to be our first legacy character because you're going to see him in like kind of full head-to-toe costume. So it'd be interesting. That would be the first kind of a fully established character in Gotham. It'll be kind of interesting that it's a thing gets passed on between this gang of pyromaniacs.
True.
Could be interesting. Again, it's walking a line with the villains if you establish them too much. But this one looks pretty fully realized aside from the flying.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting. Yeah, that's really all I got for one last thing about the court vows. I wonder if Bruce is going to end up saving Silver St. Cloud. Like, I think she's going to be an innocent pawn within things, and Bruce is going to have to save her.
I definitely think we're going to get to that direction. I think the big question is, when is Bruce going to turn on Galavan? Yeah,
so I'm thinking like first season, in the second half of the season is going to be Bruce on to Galavan, then it's going to be like Bruce's mission next season is next half of the season is going to be like using his kind of dual identity thing to save Silver St. Cloud. That'd be one of his first missions, to save Silver St. Cloud from the Court of Owls while trying to shut him down.
I think you're right on the money there.
Okay, so that's all my specs. So yeah, final thoughts, Nancy.
Final thoughts, really quick.
I liked it. I liked a lot of elements of it. Again, Barnes was a great addition. Again, those military things are just minor gripes. I want to make that fully clear. I don't want to sound like I'm harping on it too much, but I'm saying it could get out of line if they don't,
I think you harped on it a little too much for how minor it actually was.
Yeah, but it could, in the show's writing sometimes, as we saw in the first season, they can kind of go a little overboard with that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah, oh God, absolutely, yeah.
I'm saying if it could, left unchecked, it could get into a real problem if it goes unchecked. But we'll see.
But the guy's got such a charisma to him.
He does. I'm saying Chiklis knocked it out of the ballpark acting-wise in the episode. He really sold us on a character, which is why, again, the episode has some good highlights. That Penguin's arc is seemingly getting good.
You can't put Penguin in an episode and expect it to be like a bad story.
Exactly. So again,
the
this episode,
only thing with Penguin that was bad was his whole bit with Tabitha, and Tabitha was the only one who was making it.
Basically, the big problems of this episode was Tabitha and Alfred's punch.
Yeah, Alfred's punch I really wish wasn't there.
Well, you take that out of the equation, it was a pretty good episode.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It was a solid. It was a solid plot episode.
Dude, my fears about them blowing their load on Jerome have not been like settled though. I'm still very much weary of that.
I think if they do the Red Hood game, then they're going to save all the Jerome stuff. And
we'll
it's
see.
Perfect.
We'll see. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, my final thoughts. I just like after talking through it, it's not as bad as some of the worst episodes that we got out of season 1, but
maybe a little too reminiscent of season 1, but not the worst thing in the world, though.
It's not great by any stretch of the imagination, and I certainly don't think it's. My whole fear is that we're going to look back on season 2 and we're just going to be like, oh man, that Jerome stuff was so good, but then it just kind of went off the rails after that. And I've seen shows like that do that. I talked like Walking Dead season 5. It was like 3 episodes of this really awesome villain, and then 5 episodes for the rest of the mid-season of this really terrible storyline. So I'm not saying the Galavan story is terrible. I'm definitely saying that one of the characters, if not 2 of the characters in that storyline, are terrible. So I don't know. I just don't know, dude. Definitely the weakest of the season so far. Having said that, it's still it's still nice to know that this show isn't dealing with the case of the week at all. It's really like all the things that are happening in the show in the second season is affecting everything else on a week-to-week basis, and I definitely applaud it for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That was something, I feel like that was something the show kind of struggled with in the first season to a certain extent.
And we need some plot episodes to get us to some really good episodes. So hopefully it's going to be building to some really great stuff. And next episode, we're getting a really action-heavy one with the Firefly, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've covered our bases, BlueDragonFive. You want to sign out?
So remember, kids, no matter how dark and scary the world may be right now, there will be light. There will be light with Chiklis.
Until next time, when we go exploring Gotham yet again. Come on, come up with something, please.
10 up?
Really? Really? That's what you got? That's what you got? No.
We'll come up with something.
Okay, I got it. And now the GCPD thinks it was a blind man. A blind man!
Civility. Little civility.
Tabitha is fucking garbage. Have a good night, everyone.